Most people do not diversify their investments, which turns out like a bunch of spilled eggs on the ground. Do it again. There's a lot of people that have an investment strategy. I got it in my hair. Does your investment strategy look like broken eggs in the wrong direction? Most people aren't financially doing any kind of diversification. They're putting all their eggs in one basket, and it's just a crap show. One shot, now the future is yours. Go. I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go. All I'm trying to say is that 401ks and IRAs in the stock market aren't really diversification. It's not working. It's like this. Oh. That was not. Teddy bear angry.
You're blaming me for something that you did to yourself.
Oh man, it was a good thing that I have an extra gym shirt lying around. That was a little unpredictable. But here's what's going down. We are talking about cracked eggs. We're talking about diversification. And frankly, with what people do in this country every day with the money, I'm like, I don't think you really understand what diversification is. So I'm gonna bring some clarity on this because this is what has built my wealth. And I'm also just frankly showing you what wealthy people do to become wealthy. And it's gonna be really eye-opening because what most y'all are doing with your money makes no freaking sense. So here's the truth. Literally every generation believes less and less in diversification. And if we go from 2 generations back, this generation at their age has a fifth of the wealth that their grandparents did. So it's like there's maybe a little correlation here that we're financially becoming a little more stupid. So check it out. People are risking way too much, but really counterintuitive than what they actually define risk to be. 90% of day traders, for example, lose money in the stock market because people select their investments based on rumors and stock tips. Even seasoned investors cannot predict the market, and 80% of actively managed mutual funds fall behind the major indexes. The only true way to mitigate risk is to diversify your portfolio instead of just doing the lazy thing, which is, well, I don't know, my 401k is like invested into like some blue chip companies. I got news for you. Those companies already took off. You're right, they're really stable, so your money's not really at risk. I mean, we know that every 7 years there's gonna be and then it's gonna come back. But the bottom line is it working? Well, just look at the ROI, return on investment. The 30-year average is hunkering down under 10%, which means that your money's gonna double maybe 2, 3, 4 times in your working life. And at the rate that you save, quadrupling that amount of money, what's it gonna be? No, I'm telling you, I know the numbers. The average person at 65 years old has barely over $200,000 set aside for their retirement. Bottom line is the greatest risk is what they're doing, which is trying to take no risk at all. Calculated risk is what you're gonna have to do to get somewhere. And besides, do you really want like the 30, 40, 50, 80-year plan? What if you could literally do it in less than 10 years? Even less than 5 years. Just about every wealthy person I know does it under 5 years. So today, we're gonna talk about why. We're gonna talk about where to diversify and how to do the game different. All right, instead of juggling your eggs,
not diversify their investments, which
we're gonna talk about what real diversification is. Diversification is a strategy that blends different investment strategies into your financial game plan. This yields higher returns and also lowers risk. The key is that your portfolio holdings are uncorrelated. They're independent of each other. Simply put, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Ray Dalio, that ran one of the most successful hedge funds of all time, returned at one point over $27 billion to his investors. And he has a strategy of diversification. And here's a known quote. He says, and by the way, I was live in training with him when he shared this. He said, Kris, if you will, or you, hello, until your money is sitting in 15 different non-correlating asset classes, you're still gonna be at risk. But once you've put that money into 15 different places, you'll mitigate 90+% of all your risk. Well, do I personally believe that you have to be in 15 different uncorrelating asset classes? I don't. I think there are 5 major ones, and later in this video, I'm going to share with you what those 5 are. But let's talk about some of the things that I might mean. I could diversify into real estate. I could diversify into jets because private jet industry is definitely on the rise. I could diversify in businesses, in different softwares and companies. Not companies that already made it like Apple and whatever, companies that are literally on the rise. Or I could invest in commercial real estate or emerging markets, countries that are actually coming on board who their currency is strengthening right now, and overseas there's money to be made there. There's so many different asset classes and places where you can actually grow your money. And if all of it is right now sitting in the stock market, meaning some mutual fund, well, we've already covered those stats. It's not exciting, and those ROIs are not appealing. Let me show you how we get jacked up in the first place. You see, we look at one of these wheels. This actually is a common model for how the wealthy diversify. And you look at it and you're like, oh, check that out. They're 32% of their money sitting in stocks and 15% are in bonds, 10% is cash. Oh, look, 21% is sitting in private equity, real estate, 12%, hedge funds, et cetera, et cetera. There's only one problem. You ain't wealthy. And if you are, then congratulations. Maybe you're here learning how to become more wealthy, good place to be. But for the majority, check it out. How you become wealthy is not what you do once you are wealthy. So what we have are all these financial planners and all these people that are running these 401ks, and what they're basically saying is, yo, you are way too stupid to manage your own money. Give it to us, give it to the institutions, we'll do it for you. By the way, we're gonna earn really sexy commissions on managing your money. And we're gonna make sure your money doesn't actually pay you dividends or give you anything. Guys, this is stupid, this is insane. And here's what they're doing. We're going to take your hard-earned little bit that you got. Oh, good job, you worked hard this last 2 years and you put $10,000 away in your qualified accounts of IRAs and 401ks. And what are they doing? They're using a strategy like this. But you know what the wealthy care about? The wealthy care about earning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 secure, safe percent. That's not how you get wealthy. That's what you do once you're wealthy. You're supposed to do something different with the hard $10,000 earned money. And there's a time for low ROIs when you got it all. But to get it all, you never get there with low ROIs. So this is trash. This isn't useful if you're trying to build wealth. Let me show you how this actually works. I can guarantee that what you're about to learn, you're not going to learn anywhere else. Because I wrote the book on it, and I'm telling you verifiably, no one else is talking about what I am right now. I'm going to share with you the top 5 ways to diversify, not into other industries, not into other strategies, but actually your ROI. Now, this is a strategy that you use to create wealth. Check it out. You do want some single-digit ROIs, which means, hey, I'm working hard at saving my money. Where should I save it where I can easily access it and put it in other places? It's not a 401k because as long as you work at that job, you can't pull it out, and there's restrictions and there's penalties, ouch, if you try to touch it.
Let's go.
Whoa, no touchy. No touchy. No touch.
So instead, I like to put my money in life insurance. It's a rare type of whole life where I am earning 4, 5, 6% on average on my money. Now listen, this is what you're earning all the time in your 401ks and IRAs. It will not make you rich. So this is a holding tank. This is where I'm gonna stash my cash. I'm gonna keep it there for a short time until I can graduate it. And 5 ways of diversifying ROI. We're now gonna move from a single-digit ROI to a double-digit ROI. I do this through the game of real estate. See this little plastic piece of crap? That's a house. And what I do with this house is I only buy real estate that can actually earn me 25% ROI. You wanna know why? Because over 20 years, this will make me 27 times more money than a 401k, which is why 90% of all millionaires do it in the game of real estate. But real estate takes decades to amass millions of dollars, especially when you're starting with a little bit, which is why you need to diversify the next ROI into what's called triple-digit ROI. This is asymmetric risk. This is putting money into companies that haven't slingshotted up yet, but they could be the next great. And I have a whole strategy for how I find these companies and identify them. And I can put literally $100 into each one of them or $1,000. I can put very little amounts of money. And now I graduate from a 25% ROI where my money doubles every 3 years to a 500% ROI where it doubles every 2 months. From there, I go into quadruple digit ROI. This is where you own businesses. Now, a lot of you are thinking, oh, Kris, I really don't want to own a business. And I said, no. You don't want to operate a business. You definitely want to own a business. Why? Look at that ROI, 5,000%. Not freaking 5,000. And then number 5 here, infinite ROI. This is where you're leveraging other people's money and earning infinite returns. I'll give you an example. See this house right here? I need 50 grand to buy it, and it's gonna make me 100 grand. Do you have 50 grand sitting in a 401k or an IRA? Check it out. Partner with me. I'll put the 50 grand down. I'll do all the work. I'll find it, identify it, manage it after I purchase it, rent it out, make the money. And let's just say that we're gonna turn that 50 grand into another $100,000 of gains, which means I keep my 50 grand, but I make 100. Well, check it out. An infinite ROI is, Kris, I'll partner with you. You do the work, I'll put up the money. So here's my work, here's your money. And then a short while later, we sell it, and guess what? It's made 100 grand. And I say, cool, here's your 50 grand back, plus 50,000 in profits, and here's 50,000 for me. Now, if we're smart, we're going to roll all of this money into a lot more real estate and let it get bigger and bigger and bigger. This is how the wealthy do it. But let's just say we didn't. And you take your $50,000 of profits on top of the 50 grand that you put in, and I take my 50 grand of profits. Now let's calculate your ROI. You put up 50, you made 50, that's 100% return. If it took 5 years to do it, you would be averaging 20% a year on your money. Let's look at my ROI. I put nothing in, my team did all of the work. I own the system because I don't operate businesses, I own them. And I make 50 grand. What's my ROI? Can't calculate it. I didn't even put in $100. If I did put in $100, my ROI would be in like the gabillion percents. My ROI is infinite because I never use money. This is what OPM is. Now, if you take a look at single, double, triple, quadruple, and infinite ROI, this is a diversification of ROIs, which is why the title of this book, Have It All, subtitled The Roadmap to Becoming a Self-Made Millionaire, by diversifying into 5 different ROIs. And I'm telling you right now, you can do it in less than 5 years. I did it. I was talking to TG, my buddy today, he did it. My brother Nick, he did it. I know people left and right that do it less than 5 years because they're not diversifying into different single-digit ROIs for safety. What they're doing is they're diversifying into higher ROIs. Now, does higher ROI mean higher risk? Answer, no. But I'll tell you what a guaranteed risk is. Doing what society tells you to do, and I can guarantee after doing the math on your situation, that you're not gonna be where you wanna be. That's the biggest risk of all. I have a gift for you, and it's free. How cool is that? I mean, you watched today's free video, but you could subscribe and watch more free videos. I have a gift of knowledge that is way more potent. I wanna give you a copy of this book. This is the 5th book I've written. I'm a best-selling author, and I've poured my entire life's work into this. You can go to Audible, find the audiobook, but I wanna send you a copy of this because this actual physical book, I poured my life and my love into it in 3 days of recording that dang audiobook. And this book, literally, you are 1 book away from acquiring, for this generation, for millennials, for Gen Z, the way on how you actually get your freedom back, how you get your mobility, how you get your flexibility. You don't have to work hard like the last generation. You have to work smarter. And smarter does not take decades to get nowhere. It's something you can do in a relatively short period of time if you have the philosophy. It's mine, now it's yours. Click the link below, cover the shipping and handling. The book is free, and I'm telling you right now, this book is gonna change everything for you. In fact, the moment you order it, my team's gonna send you a digital copy for free so you can start consuming it and getting the strategy. In a few short hours, you're gonna understand how to get exactly where you want to go. You got egg on your face, a big disgrace. Do not be a disgrace. Learn everything from this video. And if you're thinking, Kris, I don't have 5, 10, 15, 20 years. In fact, what if you only had 10 years before you died? Recently, I made a video with a man who has less than 10 years left to live, and he's got to financially figure it out. And in this video, I'll show you what his game plan looked like. Might spark yours for you.
That's pretty big. There.
I'm telling you, I'm huge. You have no, oh shoot. This is not gonna work.
This is really big.